What's up, guys? Welcome to Sky Bees. So, in the last episode, we did some astral sorcery. It was a little bit of a longer episode, but we went through it and got into blood magic. And off camera, I set up some more bees. So, I set up a nether quartz bee. I set up the blaze bees again. I've got the nether rack and the soul sand. We've got the end iron bees that give us ender pearls. Um, and then we set up our regular Minecraft bees. You can see that guy right there to my left. He's trying to get to a flower to pollinate, the poor guy. And yeah, this apiary I'm standing on top of right now is completely full up with bees. So we've got 9 in this, we've got 9 in here, and I've been watching this thing for a little while. If we go underneath here, this item router is doing pretty good of keeping this apiary storage clear. You can see it clears this out as well, and it is shooting everything over into this diamond storage crate, which is clearing out okay. And then we've got this thing going, and you can see items will kind of get stuck in here a little bit, and then it tosses them out. And that is because I had to make another item router and send it over there. This one item router was not working, but I do like that. It got a little light show going. And as I said, we set up some nether quartz because we may need some nether quartz in the future. I wanted to set that bee up. We got quite a bit of glowstone coming in. Again, we have quite a bit of marble, quite a bit of aquamarine, and everything is going really well. Now, in the last episode, we got to the blood magic side of things, which is something that I wanted to do so that we could get to the steel casing, as we've said many times over, and start automating our honey production so that we can get more bees. And I honestly think that we're going to have the same setup of centrifuges that we do have of apiaries. I think we're going to need 5 centrifuges set up in here, one messing with each apiary, because we're just going to be getting items lightning fast. These lights never stop. But before we get there, we do need to take a little detour through blood magic. So, the next thing that we need to get is a blank slate. And to do this, we need to put just any stone. You can see at the bottom it says accepts any forged stone, and there was stone that rolled past with 1,000 life points, and we can get a blank slate. Now, when we do that, we can start making these blank runes, but these blank runes are going to require 1 blank slate, a blood orb, and then again more stone. We need 8 of these blank runes to upgrade this blood altar to a tier 2, so we might as well place in or get 8 blank slates. So to get the life points in here, we are going to have to shift right click and get some blood in this thing. Now I do believe that we're going to have to keep this thing full so that the stone will turn into a blank rune. Very nice. No. How do I get you out? Empty hand? Yeah, empty hand. That's how you do it. So, I accidentally got a piece of cobblestone, and we got rid of our illumination powder that was here. That's okay. We'll just go ahead and do a little something like this. We can see that this thing is slowly losing life points, which is kind of sucks, but we got to deal with it for now. If we put a diamond in here and we do the same thing where we get a little more life points, not to kill ourselves in this thing, we will eventually get a blood orb here. And any time now would be great. There it is. And we need this guy too to craft up the blank runes. So now it's time. It's time to sit here and just put more of these guys in here and hopefully not die. This does use quite a bit of health from us, and we might as well grab another piece of stone while we're over here. I did smelt up a little bit of this stuff before. We'll throw the cobblestone in there, no big deal. So I'm going to go ahead and let myself heal up a little bit, and then we will get the rest of the blank slates that we need. All right, 8 blank slates later, and not too bad. Our armor did take a little bit of damage from us doing all of that, but we should be able to grab the rest of the stone that we have here, and that's not quite enough. Luckily, the weak blood orb is not used in the craft, which is really nice, but I know that I have some more stone in here somewhere. If not, I have some more in the furnaces behind me. Maybe I don't have more stone. Huh. Nope. But I do have more here. So one more of these guys like so, and bam, we have that. We can take our blood orb out, or our weak orb, and we should now be able to put these blank runes down, and this should be a level 2 blood altar. And when it is level 2, I believe it doesn't lose the life essence that was in there. So we're going to go ahead and do something like this. Eat real quick and check our quests. So we've got the blank slate done. We've got the blank rune. We did the weak blood orb. You can do these other blood orbs. It's just higher tier of blood altar. This is a block of redstone. It works a little bit better. To get the steel casing here, we are going to need to take a block of steel, and I need to go ahead and make 2 of these, honestly. We're going to need tier 1 crafter. We need 1 here, and I need 1 for the Metallurgic Infuser. That's what it was. So we need to make 2 of these guys. Now, this is going to require quite a bit more life points. If we look here, it's going to require 5,000 to make 1 block of steel a steel casing. So we're going to be here for a minute, but we can put this guy in here. It's going to start using the essence, and we can just literally stab ourselves almost to death. And yeah, don't do that. That is a quicker way to do it, but that's not what we want to do. Oh, all my charms. And yeah, the obituary, this doesn't have a use, so bye. Let's see. Hopefully this thing turns. Okay, there we go. There we go. Again, empty hand. And we have our steel casing complete. That should open up mechanism for us. Boom, we got the steel casing. So now we can make the metallurgic infuser. But I am going to go ahead and not kill myself. Let's see if we can get this thing up to 5,000 millibuckets. And then we should just be able to put a steel casing in here with no issues. So 5,000 buckets. Let's see if this works. We haven't touched this thing. We're down to 700 buckets. We're gonna really test this thing here. It makes me nervous. Oh, look at that. Just as it hit 0, we got our second steel casing, which is really, really nice. Okay, so the Metallurgic Infuser is just 2 furnace, some iron, and some redstone. So let's grab ourselves a little bit of cobblestone, a little bit of redstone, and sure, iron. We should be able to make this bad boy if we do this. 1, 2, and then bam, bam. Metallurgic Infuser. Now, for us to make the machine casing that we need the steel casing and we need gold grit. 100 millibuckets of it. So, the gold grit gives us, or gold dust gives us 10 millibuckets, so we're going to need 10 pieces of gold. If I still have it, which I do, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I should have a crushing hammer or crushing hammer in here somewhere. There it is. This is kind of a cheesy way to do it, but it works, and perfect. So I should be able to set this guy somewhere like that, and it will get power. It's not the ideal way, but we can put this guy in here. There's 100 millibuckets of gold, and our steel casing is coming across here, so we should be able to set up the crafter tier 1. This guy right here. Perfect. For this guy, we are going to need 2 crafting tables and 2 redstone torches. Quest complete, machine frame, very nice. Do we have... Nope. We will simply grab the sticks there. And then I should really get off of this right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we will craft up 2 crafting tables. We will craft up 2 redstone torches. And then we will craft up our crafter tier 1. Perfect. This thing is awesome. I'm so glad that we can do this. So, now we need to set it up. I think the easiest way to do this is going to be with these item routers. So, we can have 2 recipes in here. That is perfect. If we wanted to upgrade this guy to a crafter tier 2, we could. It's very, very simple. And this gives us 4 recipes at once. But what we're looking at doing is, if we look at, I believe it's the bottle of honey, we can make this with a honey bucket and 4 glass bottles. We can then take these 4 bottles of honey and turn them into a honey block, and then we can take those honey blocks and export them over here if we wanted to and send them over there. So like I said, I think these item routers are going to be the way to go. So we're going to want a sender and a puller. We're going to want a puller that pulls the bucket out of here and puts it in here. This guy. We're going to clear the whitelisted item. We're going to want to make sure that we pull a bucket of honey. So what we should do is we should make 2 buckets, like so. One of them we're going to want to have a bucket of honey in. So this thing we are going to want to set a whitelist filter for a honey bucket. It's going to pull that. Then what we want to do is put a sender here, and we're going to want to make sure that this sends the bucket of honey into here. Okay? On this side, we are going to want to pull from the crafter and make sure that we set this to a whitelist of a regular bucket. And then we're going to want to set the sender to here with the same whitelist. Now, in theory, let's make sure that, yeah, that did its thing. What should happen is this should send a bucket over here. It should collect honey. It should be pulled out of here, and it should be put up here. So if we put the bucket in here, it should make its way around, and it should be here. Perfect. So now what we want to do is we want to grab some glass bottles. We have quite a few of them. Let's go ahead and grab these bad boys. We want to start our first recipe, and it is going to be a honey bucket, and it is going to be glass bottles, like so. Now, all items in the input slots are consumed. Press apply after changes. Keep 1 item in inventory slot. Nope, we don't care about that. Result of the crafting operation will go to the output buffer. Result of the crafting operation will stay in the input buffer. Result of the crafting operation will go to the output buffer, but items like buckets will stay in the input. I don't know. Let's see. Result of the crafting will go out here. I want these to stay in here. So let's hit apply. Okay. Let's put some bottles in here. And this thing, of course, is going to need power. So I can either craft another flux point, or I can grab the one that I have right here. And we can put down our dirt right there, and then I can actually put the flux point here, and it's powering this, and it's powering this. So this leaves the items in the inventory. We don't want that. Result of the crafting buckets will stay in the inputs. Results will go to the output buffer. We want everything, I guess, to go to the output buffer. That would put this here and put this here. So as you can see, this is now cycling on to activate. This is now cycling this. So what I think we're going to want to do is we're also going to want to use this sender to pull the honey bottles out of the output buffer like it does the bucket. And then we are going to want to send them with another sender card. I should have one more. I do. Good. So right now, this sender is pulling the bucket out of here, and it's sending it to here, and then this is pulling it out once it's a honey and sending it up to here. So we're going to want to set this as our input, and then we're going to change this guy to honey bottles. So it should pull the honey bottles out of here, if I can put these back in, and it should literally just put them back in here. So now our second recipe, we can take our honey bottles and we can do that, and boom, all of the resulting crafts will go to the output buffer, and we are good to go. One last thing that we're going to need to do is set the whitelist on this puller to pull the honey blocks out of the output buffer. So this should whitelist honey blocks, and then we are going to need to probably send the honey blocks to this guy right here. And to do that, we are going to have to make some more sending modules, because I think we have finally used up all of the ones that we had crafted. We've got a puller here. Yep, we need to make more ascending modules, and I do believe that we just need some paper and gold nuggets. Should be easy enough for us to make. Okay, we made the blank modules. We made 4 of these sender modules. We could make 20 more. I might as well go ahead and make them all, just so we have them. But the best thing to do, you can upgrade these one at a time with an ender pearl, which really doesn't matter for us. We have a ton of ender pearls up there. But the better way to do it is this. It saves us some ender pearls. So I did go ahead and grab ender pearls, and we now have ourselves a new module. So let's go ahead and set that as our receiver. We will come over here, and we will set this guy to whitelist honey blocks. And now, if I put in honey block in here, it should go over to here, and it should be sent over there. Boom, there you saw it go, and it should go up there. So let's see, we have 213 honey blocks at the moment. Let's go ahead and turn on our system. Now, this thing, we're going to go ahead and leave it in slow-mo, because it takes a little while. These aren't the fastest things. Ooh. Stop. We also need to Which sender is it? It's this one that has honey bottles. We're going to need to take the puller, pull glass bottles out, and then this sender is going to need to send the glass bottles back. Right? Puller, whitelisted, glass bottles. It is pulling them. Good. So what we really need to make is the speed upgrades that we have like in here. And it's holding steady on this guy. If we put some speed upgrades in this, this should cycle a lot faster. And we have 14,000 buckets of honey. But there we can see all of the bottles back in here. Nice and easy. We have the 4 that we started with. We have the honey bottles here. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to make some more speed upgrades. Now, unfortunately for us, we need gunpowder, and we're out of gunpowder. So we need to go ahead and make this Alchemy Catalyst for our mana pool here. We'll place this thing underneath there. Go ahead and replace our dirt. That'll get to be grass eventually. And now what we can do is we can actually take some of this flint that we have over here, and we should be able to turn this into gunpowder at the cost of mana. And obviously we have a ton of logs and stuff. We could easily get more mana if we need it. If we look over here, we have like 3,000 of every log. We have 4,000 of those. So now that we have gunpowder, we should be able to make these speed upgrades. I guess I used the last bit of my gunpowder when making these things before, because they're just gold blaze rods and then these blank upgrades, which is lapis, paper, all kinds of stuff. So let me get all the stuff that we need. So you do make these blank patterns here, these blank upgrades 4 at a time, and that makes 3 of these. So we have 12 of these essentially. Put 6 in here and 6 in here, and now let's go ahead and turn this thing on. And it should start working faster. The other thing that we could do is a stack upgrade. We've done these two. This is the same blank upgrade with brick and stone, and I think I'm out of dust. I'm out of clay. We're running out of materials. We've done pretty good with not having to sift through much. I have gunpowder right there. I thought I had more. I do have some bricks, and we do have the ability to get stone, so we just need to make one more set of this with some paper. We'll go get some gold nuggets, and we should be good. I think, yeah. Let's go ahead and do this. 4 bricks. These are the only thing that you make one at a time, and they're kind of annoying. You do need 6 in here to actually get a stack of 64 at a time, but I think this is going to speed things up a little bit better. I mean, really, could we cycle 2 buckets through here? That might help. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be fast. The fact is, we are getting honey, right? We're at 237 and we were at like 213. So, yeah, it's working out. Let's move on. So we spent a good part of the last couple of episodes running up here to get stuff. We've been running over here to get stuff. We've been running all over. And I really would like to get into some refined storage or applied energistics. We did do applied energistics in Levitated, though this has changed a little bit. I think what we're going to want to do is play around with refined storage. Now, to get to refined storage, we have to go through the extended crafting. We have to get black iron, which is this quest right here. This quest opens up the extended crafting quest line. So we need to make the alloy smelter, which is 8 times kiln brick. So that's what we're going to do next. Kiln brick shouldn't be too bad. I do have some of this, and was it sandstone that we need? Yeah. Ooh. Let's see. We need, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh boy. We're getting low. We're getting low on sand and stuff. I don't want to set those bees up again, so 1, 2, 3, 4 crafts of that. We have the 8 kiln brick that the quest requires. I do believe that we may need our engineer's hammer for this. And for now, I think we're just going to pop this guy down right here. And yep, smack it with the hammer. This becomes an alloy kiln. So the next quest, wrong button, is the black iron quest. And all the pack updated. And these are not working. We make this with black dye and iron. Pretty simple, right? We also need some coal or something of that nature. I do believe that we have some black dye in one of these chests. Let me see something real quick. Black iron. There's no B for it, which is disappointing. Looks like I've got 9 petals here. I guess we can go ahead and just use those. We'll grab some shears, and we'll make ourselves a stack of iron, and then we'll make a stack of these mystical petals. Yeah, it'll all work out. Should be pretty simple. We just throw that in there. We throw some coal. I did forget to grab my pestle and mortar. We'll take our stack of dye. Perfect. And we have a little bit extra, no big deal. And now this should cook up. Doesn't look like it takes too long. But we can get black iron, and that should get us into the refined storage quest. Perfect. We have this. That should unlock refined storage, right? Am I wrong? Maybe I'm wrong. Oh, no. That opens up the extended crafting. This guy right here, external crafting. That's what we unlocked. So, we're going to need to go down this quest line here so we can get to the machine casing, and that will unlock refined storage. So we need a basic component, we need a basic catalyst, we need a basic crafting table, and then we can make this. I know we're going to have to go down some of these. I'm not sure how far we're going to need to get, but if we look up the basic component, it is luminescence, black iron slate, and iron ingots. The black iron slate is a black iron ingot that is pressed into the metal press. I haven't made a metal press yet. Oh no, we got to go back to immersive engineering. So as a matter of fact, I have a piston. I know somewhere I made the steel scaffolding, and I cannot for the life of me remember what I made it for. I learned something that this will turn red up here when you're looking through if there's no items. This obviously sees that it has steel rods and the flint and steel, which is really nice, so it stays white. This has some steel in it too, which is right here. Pretty neat. And then this one also has some steel in it, which is the energized steel that we made before. This one is still white, so what is in here? Maybe it just was because the steel was in there, but steel scaffolding should just be that. And I've made this before. I don't remember where it is. So we need 2 of those. We need a piston. We need a redstone engineering block, which is iron, redstone, and copper. And I should have a copper ingot in here. Let's go ahead and turn the filter off. Redstone. Right here. We'll go ahead and make that bad boy. We need the heavy engineering block and 2 times conveyor. The conveyors should be easy for us to make. We make them in stacks of 8. We just need iron, leather, and redstone. We have some leather here from all the different animals that were spawning on our platforms. We need a piece of redstone. Oh no. There we go. Come on, game. Conveyor belt. Get the heavy engineering block is where things are going to get interesting because we need steel. We need electrum, which is going to be made in alloy kiln with gold and silver. That's easy for us to make, but we need these steel mechanical components. Actually, we can craft them up with 4 steel and a copper, or you can make them in an engineer's workbench with 2 steel and 1 copper, which is easier for, or a little bit cheaper. But I will go ahead and, for the sake of saving time, just craft them up. Did that give me... Yeah. Yeah, we got plenty of those. We need a gold. We will go ahead and take you out and throw you guys in there and get the black iron. We will make the 4 steel components. We then need that there, and then we need the electrum that came out of there. Engineering block, get done. Perfect. Let's go ahead and throw the iron and that back in there. And now we should be able to set this bad boy up. Now, because I've played with immersive engineering and stuff before, I actually do remember how to set this guy up. It should be a simple setup, right? We have the conveyor belt that way. I think I messed up, and I actually think that this block is the redstone engineering block. Here, we have the piston. And then we have the heavy engineering block, which goes on top. Now, we use this guy to rotate our piston, which isn't going to want to rotate for me. Why would it? It needs to be upside down like that. And boom, we have a metal press. Perfect. So now comes another daunting task. We actually need to get the engineer's workbench because we're going to need it to actually make the press molds. So we need some treated wood. We need the engineer's crafting table, which is more treated wood. And I distinctly remember not setting up a tank. Oh, to this guy right here. Oh man. This area, this platform here is getting a little messy, so I think I'm going to come down here and we're going to reset up our coke oven. Oh man. Very long-winded process since I tore this down without paying attention, but 2 coke will get you 1,000 millibuckets of creosote oil. And now we can take this guy up here, and we should be able to surround this with planks. And that's how we get the treated wood planks. Perfect. So we're going to need ourselves, it looks like, 5 slabs. So treated wood planks, which we have. We'll get 6 slabs. Very nice. We're going to need 2 sticks there. We're going to need 4 sticks here. So unfortunately, we're going to have to do this recipe, and that does mean that we're not going to have enough to complete this recipe for building the fence. So we're just going to let the creosote or the coal turn into coal coke down below, and we will go ahead and make the engineer's crafting table, which is something we need. We will go ahead and make or get a piece of iron. And let's look at the immersive engineering quest line. So we have been breaking out some quests here. Here's the engineer's workbench that we're working towards. Quartz enriched iron is something we're going to need to get going as well. This is made in the alloy kiln with iron and quartz. There is a quartz enriched iron B. Nether quartz B, Certus quartz B, there he is. This guy is bred from a silicone and an iron B, and a silicone B is bred from a Certus quartz and a nether quartz at 100% chance. Dust and sieve. I think I actually have a Certus quartz B, so you need quartz enriched iron for the RF refined storage. So, yep. Let me make some more treated wood planks. I'll be back. Not too long later, boom, we have the engineer's workbench. Nice. Now, before we get that thing set up, what we are going to do is we're going to set up a quantum tank and get some creosote oil pumped into this. This is what we should have done episodes ago. We do need, it's kind of a sneaky way to do this. You can't just pump the fluid out into the quantum tank. You used to be able to, but it won't happen that way anymore. So what we have to do is get our configurator or our cable wrench. We will do that. We will do... Oh my god. What'd I do? We'll do this to make sure that... So you gotta watch the left click on this. Otherwise, it's a pain. So now we should have coal coke going into the drawer there. And we're going to go ahead and put this bucket in here. So what should happen is items will be pulled out of here, or they will be pulled out of here. This will take the bucket out. It will disperse the creosote in here, and then the bucket will cycle back through, and the coal coke will be cycled in there. Perfect. Now, as far as the engineer's workbench goes, this thing needs a blueprint, and specifically the metal press mold. So, what we need is some paper, which I have here, and we should be able to make this engineer's blueprint. No. Excuse me. What is that called? Blueprint? Banner patterns, common projectiles, crafting components. Electrodes, yeah, that's normally traded from a villager. I have to have this blueprint before I can make this mold. Okay, so this right here is the reason that I always leave have the cheats on. Because sometimes you run into stuff like this where you can't pull it out. It shows it in a regular crafting table. It shows it in a crafting station. Let's go ahead, before we do anything drastic, and let's try a regular Minecraft workbench and see if this works. Okay, it worked. That is weird. So what we would have done is we would have just taken these items and thrown them into the void, and I would have just jumped into creative and snagged this guy up. Which is the reason that I leave allow cheats on when I play any mod pack. Because you never know. So now that we have that, we can place this guy in here and we can make all the plates. And what we need is we need a steel block. And we need our engineer's hammer, so that we should be able to get this metal press. We can make wire, we can make unpacking, we can make rod, mold packing. I don't know what these are used for, but the gear, this needs 3 times steel plates and it needs wire cutters. So while we're doing this, we might as well get this stuff going. And I think we can make this. Yep, there's the wire cutters. We might as well put this guy on here. And let us get 1, 2, 3. The only thing that we're really lacking on is power. I have power over here wirelessly from this guy, so I think we're going to need to make ourselves another flux point real quick. All right, now we have a flux point, pretty easy craft. We can set this to our network, and now we have the stuff. So a couple of different things you can do. You can just simply queue these on the belt, and they will go over like that and then be distributed onto the floor. The other thing that you could do is you can put a chest on the end here and a hopper on the end here, and it'll kind of automatically do the stuff for you. We are just looking to do this so that we can get the gear press mold. And I'm going to go ahead and throw these 2 things in my backpack. I am going to grab a chest because we have a lot of them. And I do believe that I've got, yep, a brick hopper here. So we'll set this guy up like so. And then we will set up a chest like that. And now what we can do, no, that is the plate, is go ahead and put this guy in here. Perfect. All right. What do we get from this? We get the Furnace Electrodes. What? I never made this. It's weird that we get this one, but we're gonna leave it in here. Okay. So now we've gone down the path of immersive engineering. We can get back into making these components, but that is going to have to be done next time. We have run out of video time. I don't want to leave this episode too long, and the light show is amazing. One thing I would like to look at just before we end is where did we get with honey blocks? We have 907. Oh man. And we are down to 16,000 buckets. This thing is working amazingly. This is beautiful. For some reason, like I said, these tanks don't like the solidifier. It may have changed now that the pack has been updated. I haven't tried it, but we're just going to stick with that over there. So yeah, next time we're going to come in, we're going to get into extended crafting. We're going to get into some refined storage so we don't have to be flying around the base all the time. So as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to leave a like. It helps me out a lot. Make sure that you are clicking that notification bell so you get notified when videos like this are uploaded. Go ahead and check that description down below for all the different ways to follow me, including Twitter, Twitch, and a link to my Discord, as well as a link to Patreon down below. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you on the next one.